Hello, everyone, and welcome to another weekend. And Saturday it is. Let's get to some work. I wish I would have a little bit more of an update from like a mechanic standpoint. My brain was just like um, overwhelmed a little bit this week. It's been pretty busy at work, so I just kind of kept things pretty. I wouldn't call it basic, but I just try to go with the creativity side of the brain instead of the processing side of the brain. So, yeah, I wanted to kind of create some back alleys, kind of in between the buildings in town, and uh, I wanted to kind of try out and see what I can achieve. Hey, Hisham. Hey, Atlantica. Welcome, welcome. So kind of this is the result from this past week is just trying to place some of these some of these buildings in a little bit more of a maybe town-like fashion organized. I'm not entirely sure if like I said, if a town planner would look at it and be like, this would never work, but hey, it's a video game. So yeah, what I ended up with is kind of just you probably remember this parking lot from a while back, and I've placed some of these buildings alongside the side of the road, and kind of just they're going to end up in this alleyway here. So today probably will complete some of this corner here. We'll see if that makes any sense to put like a another one like a kind of a building like this, but a little shorter. And of course, something that I mentioned, I think, in my post was a little bit of a mechanic that I've implemented today was to kind of complement the doors, is being able to go through windows. So we'll take this one, for example. Right now, it's just a pretty much a static window. It's just shut. So um, I'll probably make it so that you can actually open it. And yeah, I'll show you where it's at the moment, and we'll probably continue work on that corner over there. So yeah, this is kind of how this area looks. You'll see there's like I've added a little bit of just some clothes hanging around because it just adds some movement to the scene, and I felt it's a good place to put them. It was a little bit empty here, and just kind of trying to break up that continuous fence thing here. So I'll jump into game here, and we'll take a quick look at the kind of how the window mechanic works. Again, without opening the window just yet, but yeah, so that part, and also let's just go to full screen here. Yeah, so had a little bit of fun with creating this, something that I've always wanted to do, kind of breaking up the repetitiveness of the brick texture, which is a really good brick texture. You can't really tell, from it tiling, but I just wanted to add something onto the side of the building, and kind of this since the town is called Lake Haven, I thought I've made something related to it, and there we go. So yeah, let's take a look. We'll start with a little bit of just mantling here and just climbing on top of these windows. And then once you get to the window, it's kind of just an interactable item, just like all other interactable items. So when you hit E, you can't control the player anymore, but this is kind of how everything is done. So, and then you just move inside of the apartment. And of course, this is just you can't go through it unless you interact with it. So let's interact with it again. And then you're back out. So that's the mechanic that I've worked on this morning, and this was also something quite fun. The shader for this is literally, it's not a skeleton, it's just a shader. And if anybody's interested, I can post this in a comment for the video. Just let me know. Uh, yeah, so this is previously I had it as a, and you'll see that this one does not have um, the line itself is just kind of hanging there, and it's similar to the one that's up top there. And but yeah, I thought I would fill some of these areas for some of like the some of the back of these houses. Yeah, and so that's uh, again very small update from a mechanic standpoint. I think a bigger update was just me trying to see what works to create kind of the this back of, oh, I'm not sure if you can call it the back of back alley. I mean, it is. It's behind the building. It's sort of to the street. I wouldn't know what. Again, uh, not a town planner, so just going off with what I like. So yeah, well, this something similar we'll probably do around. Let's see. These are actually really long buildings, so we'll chop these down a little bit. But we'll probably do something similar um, behind these buildings as well. And yeah, but today I think we'll continue on with some of this block, I would say, of the town, and yeah, we'll get some more of this going. So, what I was thinking was on this street corner here to use another one of these and just um, make it so that it fits in here. We'll see how it's gonna turn out, and yeah, we'll add some windows to the side of this. One thing that this package that I've noticed, it's kind of interesting. I didn't know why necessarily, but it doesn't have, um, and maybe I'm mistaken. Oh yeah, this is something that I couldn't figure out, and I think it was just, oh no, it wasn't just me. Unfortunately, it doesn't have like a section of wall, so it is really modular, which I like. The weird thing is it doesn't have a sectional wall where like there's two windows. It only, from what I could tell, there's only one window on the left or the right, which was a little odd. So I think it's just a matter of I'll just make it so that there's there's one piece of this that and actually let me just so I can see the bottom down here that has two sides. Um, oh, hey, Captain Panda. Hey, welcome, and thank you so much. Yeah, that was actually a lot of fun to create this. And of course, there is no set. I mean, thank you. Uh, I I think the entrance to it is okay. Like out here. Probably down through it, there might be a little bit more to be added. Like kind of around these empty areas. Kind of this side is taken up by the scaffolding, and so that's good. Let me also change this to be daylight so we get a little bit more light coming in here, if I can figure out where that one would be. Okay. So yeah, it's so this side is kind of covered, but yeah, towards this end, there might I might want to add some decals around the bottoms, the kind of the contact between the building and the concrete. So we'll see how that's going to turn out. Let's see what would be a good angle for this. think on this side it was pretty good. So yeah, that should be okay that way. And yeah, probably I'll remove some of the since this is kind of just like an apartment building. It's not necessarily like a business, like a front street, main street type of business. I'll probably remove a little bit of the kind of the fancy stuff, the business signs, the fancy entrance, and just replace it with kind of what's on the back side here. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's get to it. Let's see if we can figure out something of one of this building. So now you can actually see it a little bit better now, like the repetitiveness of the brick. And that's why, having one of those, set of these decals, I think helps a lot, like along with some leaking, some of these I think they help a lot. So let's just kind of help it out on this side as well. And add this in just like that. There we go. I think that already helped with some of the um, some of that. I'm also trying to place it where the lines are more obvious. Like you can see this white line here and here. I think the tiling for that is also a little high. So let me see if what's the tiling on this? See if we can do it at half of it. And yeah, the only problem with that is that if you half the tiling, the texture itself is really good. So I'm not. I think it's just since there's so many of these panels. I mean, so many. There's actually not that many, but I'm just wondering what's the UV unwrapped on one of these things like. Let me take a quick look. No, it's the entire surface, but it just feels like, so this is how the material looks on a regular 1 by 1 UV, but then if you look at the wall itself, um, okay, how do I hide the UVs? UVs, none. This one seems a little bit more, there's definitely higher tiling on this, so maybe it's how the this wall section is has been unwrapped. But yeah, um, yeah, Atlantica. That's what I wanted to have, and initially I started by just placing like the big, if you want to call it blocks, okay, in the world. And after that, I just wanted to go in and add the kind of the small details. And I think just adding these alleyways, I think it helps with the game. I mean, with the level design as well. So what I was planning to do is just having like a back alley here, and this would be like the alley going behind here, and this kind of connecting into this parking lot and into the road. I think that helps. I mean, I think it's better than before. So anything that's better than before, I like. Okay, so let me. I'm gonna use probably the same apartment building here, and I'm gonna try and duplicate this, um, and we'll create one that's a little shorter. See if I can replace it. There we go. All right, so what I was trying to do is place this one around where the sidewalk will be, maybe around here-ish for now. And let's remove maybe one or two of these sections. Let's see how that's gonna turn out. So the nice thing, like I said, about this package is how modular it is, because you can just like trim these back, literally just like this. I'm probably gonna need to update the interiors, but since not all buildings are gonna have interiors, I think this is gonna be fine. Oops, I'm not entirely sure how I was able to select that section. Huh, did I actually? I guess I might have. How was I able to select this piece? It's kind of interesting that I was able to select um, inside of this. Oh, could it be? Why would there be like another? Like I was able to select like one of those pieces of curb. Like see this one here. Not entirely sure how that one is, but I'm just gonna leave it. I'm gonna go with it for now. All right, let's see. I'm hoping to just still have that on the grid. And of course, I did not move it. I didn't turn this on. And just when I was bragging about how modular this package is, yeah, things didn't turn out so well in here. All right, let's see. Where is my thing? I kind of lost it. So sometimes whenever there's like a ton of stuff in here, I just like to grab a hold of this, and then in wireframe mode, I can go and look from the top and just select them like this. Just trying to select this piece. I don't get it why it would allow it to select outside of the level, because it doesn't select anything else. But if I go and just select this piece, it also selects another one outside of it. And then it doesn't seem to allow me to deselect it, which is odd. All right, let's go back in here and try and bring these together. There we go. All right, well, the alleyway, the little space between these is really tiny. I'm not sure how much I like that, so I might need to cut another section. It's gonna be kind of like a not that big of a building, but let's see how that will look. If it's just gonna look a little odd. And this, it might be a little bit of a, I would call it an issue, but let's see. I might want to keep this one though, because it's got it's like the stairway. So I'm gonna delete these interior sections and move this over. All right, and the stairs. And I think let's take a look at it from this side. Let's select the rest from the top again. And try and bring them together. So this piece, this one, and this one. And also the doors. All right, that's all that I wanted to. Oh, actually, I missed one. Let's grab this one as well. And I'm just gonna try and have the pivot on this roof edge here. So let's try and bring these together. Hey, Hisham, welcome, welcome. There, okay, so that way I can like push this in a little bit further and kind of adjust how big that alleyway is there. There we go. All right. Yeah, I think that should work. So we got this alleyway going back here, going over there between the buildings. All right, yeah, I'm happy with that. Let's make a quick change here. I'm not sure how easy that will be, but let's take a look. I wanted to kind of just flip this around onto the other side. So basically have the door not by the road, but on this end, like this. The only trouble with that is kind of the interior setup. One thing that I found interesting is that the developer separated the windows. I'm kind of thinking it might be something maybe for like the distance rendering of something transparent. I am not entirely sure, but I'm just guessing. All right, that actually turned out pretty good. It's only like this interior section that yeah, that one's going to be a little bit problematic because oh, maybe let's see. Maybe not. Yeah, I think that's going to work. All right, perfect. I was afraid that, but like I said, you know, the modularity of this is really good. So so for now, I'm just gonna use the doors that they have in the package. I'm not gonna replace them with my doors. We'll do that once whatever buildings are gonna be enterable are gonna be in place. So let's place this door here as well. There we go. Okay. So we have that just acting as a, oh, and I want to remove the, or at least make sure that the post-process volume also carries with the building itself. And This is, I don't think I've ever seen this before, like the scale to take this kind of a format for a post-process volume. It is really odd. I'll probably end up replacing them with my own settings, which might be best anyways. But yeah, like I've never seen a post-process volume being like this type of a weird scaling. All right, there we go. That's pretty nice. The one thing that all right, so here's that piece that weirdly it was I was able to select it. Huh, apparently I was able to inside of this level I was able to select a piece of the spline, which was kind of weird. All right, let's use a little bit more of these ones around here. Ah, that's a good point. Yeah, because I believe this package is using nanite, even though I'm not using it in my project because it's a pretty big performance. From, at least from what I've noticed, it kind of kills performance on, I think maybe on lower end machines. It's just they don't like it. You know that kind of meme with lower end machines hate this trick. Hey Bob, welcome, welcome. So yeah, just adding some of these kind of just fillers around here. It's actually kind of cool to have some of these decals uh, to around like the bottom of the buildings. And I think that might have been on the other side here, like that. Yeah, so just that small little decal uh, breaks things up quite nicely. And of course, you know, like everything that you can put on the ground. So we'll look at that as well. Because here there's a little bit of a thing with this piece of that should be pushed towards this end like that. Hey Hamza, welcome, welcome. All right, so there we go. We have a little bit more of a back of the building kind of feel. Um, how you make a mountain. So, well, I think in at least in my case, um, this was a terrain that was sculpted that I found at least for the outskirts that I found on some from some free uh, monthly package that I had on the marketplace. But most of the times is just with an alpha. So if you have like an alpha that's like the like an erosion, that's all you need. But it's a matter of finding that right alpha erosion for that. Um, and sometimes that's, you know, a little bit hard to find just because you know, it's height map is not very easy to generate, and there are like a few things out there that can do it. Like I was playing around with a terrain dot, I think it's terrain dot something AT, or it's a website where you can get like actual like real world data um, height maps, which was actually really cool. I really enjoyed playing with that for a little bit. But yeah, there you go. And Bob has a great point with Gaia. As far as something for free, because probably that's going to be your next question. Um, I don't know outside of just free things on the marketplace. So that's why I usually just keep my eyes peeled to anything that is like a um, free asset on the marketplace. Because like I said, the this terrain was I believe free at one point on the marketplace. So just use it. But outside of that, if you want to do it all in engine, is you just need to find like and there might be like Sketchfab, some other places where you can find like a free texture that is like a height map, and you can, just sculpt, paint and sculpt like something like this. And that you can do that. I straight it like right into the end, right in the engine. All right, so let's also change this one to be like a simple. Not sure why there was two of them in there. So that's kind of like a building entrance. Just removing that for now, and let's replace it with this. But yeah, I think what I've used in the past is something called World Machine. Um, I'm not sure where they're at nowadays. It's been a while since I've been um, looking at World Machine. But that one, I remember it being really powerful as well, like as far as creating terrains. All right, there we go. Let's remove this thing. Okay, that's pretty good. I feel like. Let's try and get some of this one over here. So Hamza, hopefully that helps a little bit. Let me know if you have any other questions about that. All right, let's try and position these things to kind of cover some of these sections where these pieces come together. This one has some kind of an angle here. I don't remember why, but let's just fix it. Hey, no problem. My pleasure. I wish I could tell you more, but yeah. So like I said, if you want to kind of bypass that, um, the site is called, let me see if I can find that site for you, because I think I might have bookmarked it. Terrain dot, um, I think it's terrain dot party. Yeah. So here, you can use this one as well. This is what I was playing around with a while back, a long while back maybe. And so this one can generate um, land, can generate the um, the height map based on like real world locations. I mean, I'm assuming there might be some uh, difference in how good it can make it for different parts of the world. I'm not entirely sure how they get that data, but I think in for some of the areas that I've tried, it actually did a really good job, like generating that data. So that could also be an option if you wanna try and generate some real world data. And at that point, you can just import that into the engine, like as a import height map, basically. Yeah, no problem. Hope that helps. And if I have you on Discord, would I would love to see what you end up with. All right, that's good. All right, let's jump into game and see how some of this stuff looks out there. Um, yeah, I think also a part of this week was also spent on trying to get rid of some of the stuff that I have multiples of, like trying to get rid of, brick textures because I'm using like 5 or 6 different ones in different places. Uh, maybe wood grain or, wood surfaces also was something that I was trying to look at. And so unfortunately, these are like kind of time consuming things and but they have to be done. I wonder if I can, I think that's a little too high for mantling. Yeah, so that's why I was doing the thing where you can like climb on that little piece there and then climb up the ladder and go through that window. All right, but the decals, oops, this one here is not looking the best. There's like a little bit of stretching there. Um, I've gotten to a point where um I'm critiquing some video games, like I'm going into and looking, okay, that definitely looks like a decal, and then I'm looking at uh the places where it joins with another mesh. And I'm like, oh, there's the stretching, kind of just, looking at this piece here, which probably most people won't notice, like this section here. Um, and I'm like, okay, that's got to be fixed. So let's see if we can at least minimize it. There, I think that's better. So there we go. All right. Another thing that I think might have a good placement here, since we're gonna be able to use this little these things to navigate across the city, or I wouldn't call it city, or across the village. So that's going to be one of those manhole openings somewhere around here. Trying to figure out where I want to place it. Um, because I know that we can do like, cut into the, which is cool, you can in Unreal you can cut into the mesh. The only thing with that is that if you cut into the mesh, I believe, I'm not sure if I think it's going to cut into the original one, so you'd have to create a duplicate for each one of those if you intend of putting a hole in a different spot. So that's what might make it a little tough to as to where you want to place this, right? So for now, I'm just going to leave it somewhere around here, and to be looked at later, you know. So there. Okay, that's kind of like a little bit of a post-it. All right. Well, that is good. I think these two buildings fit pretty well there. Let's put a little bit of these kind of this leaking type of uh, type of material, type of decal on this building as well. There, that's pretty good. I want to see how one of these, like these cracks would look. Oh, I didn't select the right one, my bad. So I think it's this one. There we go. Yeah, so I think something like that could add a little bit more. Oh, that's a little bit too much of a damage, but something like to that size. Could work. Hey, Imran. Hello, hello. There we go. Just trying to use these decals to break up some of the repetitiveness on these surfaces. Yeah, there we go. It's pretty good. And I'm probably I've made an attempt at creating some of these some of these buildings, but in the end, I can only do them so well. So I'm still debating whether to keep them around or not. We'll see. Um, I mean, these look so much better. So, but until we get to that section of town, um, I'll leave them there at least just for like for blocking. But the one section of town that has nothing yet is this corner right here. So for this one, I'm gonna use something smaller, like to this size, not like a three-story tall building, but I'll use maybe, something like this, which apparently is made out of this. It's a corner block, so I might need to find which one that is. But or something like this and this. So yeah, let's I think what I'll do is I'll leave this section maybe for tomorrow. This house, the row of houses, and today let's kind of complete this corner here because this is the one that's got nothing in it, and I was thinking of just kind of reproducing to some extent what we have here, with some of these houses, these back porches, um, I think that that could be some good use of our time. Maybe put a little bit, a couple of these outbuildings, like a shed or like a canopy type of thing. And yeah, let's see how that's going to turn out. Oh, thank you, Imran. Thank you so much. I'm really happy you like it. All right, so let's start with. I'm just going to copy this one over and start by doing some kind of just blocking these up and trying to play around with some positioning and see what would work best and where. Nope, I want that at 90. I am definitely going to remove this one because this one I am not liking the size of it or and the shape. So yeah. All right, so this building could be right here. It's going to be like on the side of this on this little road, dirt road. And since we're here, let's actually just jump in and add the road just for reference so I have something there. Let's go into manage splines, and this one is going to be I'm going to use the same road that we have here. So let's see this one, road with gravel. It's going to be a few jumps in between these areas, so my apologies if hopefully it's not going to get too jarring for folks. Spline meshes, just because I need to pick up by default this comes with this kind of asphalt texture. So for might be actually be able to use that in here for this segment there. And for this one, what I wanted to do is apply the same material that this one has. So that's why the jumping, because this one has two sets of this other set of materials that is this kind of ground road, dirt road, so to speak. So hence the kind of the little bit of a jumping, so I can select that material and apply it to this one here. So for material overrides, just like that. So that's why the jumping. My apologies. All right. So with that said, let's see if we can find another one of these buildings. So just to see how we're gonna place these. Similarly, would like a little bit of a gangway alleyway between them. But let me see if I can find a different one. Though I am kind of liking them, to be honest, being the same because this is kind of like a little bit on the not I mean outskirts is a big word, but kind of the edge of town. So it could be like one of these row of houses that could be out here. So I think I might just keep them the same. I'll um, I'll see if I want to make one of them a little bit shorter. So mainly like, for example, this one, so cut back a couple of them elements. And so that could be, let's do that. So I'm just going to duplicate this and make this into an apartment building. And we'll edit it and create this corner here. So there we go. We have this. Let's just edit it real quick. So kind of from the top as before, just gonna go ahead and select these and delete them. I think I can select another. Oh, I think that's actually a bigger section. So let's just see how this is. If it's just going to be a little bit too, I think we can just move this road off a little bit. Yeah, I think that's going to work. Come on, one more. There we go. Okay, so there's that. We can push these over a little bit to make some more room for this guy. Just like that. And then in here, can just grab this one. Just move him over like that. And it actually is better because it kind of pairs with this one. So if you remember from some time ago, like I was using whenever there's like I have a side road, I'm trying to these control points, I'm trying to put them one against the other because the side road I want to have an end fall off of 0, and this one, which is kind of the main road, have the side fall off on that side. In this case, the fall off factor. Let me see, which side are we on? I think it's on the other side. Let's see. There we go. To have that at 0. If you follow this punctuated line, you see that it's set to 0. And what that gives me is a little bit of a easier way for these two roads to come together. Now let's see how that's gonna end up, especially since this one's a little crooked. And of course, the other thing that I'm going to do, this road is just going to be like a one lane because it's, doesn't really make sense. The sizes are completely different. But let's try and do a sculpt here and see what we end up with where these two roads meet. All right, so actually pretty good. Just need to make this one kind of follow the ground a little bit better. There. Okay, so that's all right. That's good. I'm happy with that. And you remember from previously that I was using like some decals uh, to do the joins with the main road. And yeah, what I wanted to do here is, let me see where I have the materials for these, because I need the road without like the asphalt with no lines. Let me see if I can find that. That's actually a decal. Let's see, where did I put that? I'm trying to find the material that has no line, like the divider, I think you would call it. So I think I might just have to make it. So let's just do that real quick. Oops, it's going to be here. So there's the material with no lines, and I just need the right texture. There we go. So something like that. That could be our side road. All right. So now let's go back into just placing some of these houses, and let's fix the terrain a little bit here. You can see like the results here where this one probably doesn't have the same setting on this control point as the other one did. So that's just something that I need to play around with for a little bit and just to kind of get these roads joined together as well. But let's focus on this corner here. So we got some of these houses up into this antenna here. And let's also put some next to the road, kind of similar to these. I might just change some of the materials on them just to have a little bit of variety and kind of the color of the siding. There we go. And what I'll do, I might just set one up to be back here. That. Let's actually make these two the shorter version so I have a little bit bigger backyard. We'll see how big this is. Well, let's try and get them. They're kind of a little bit high right now from the road. I'm going to try and position them a little bit better. Like this. And I also wanted to get rid of this something that I made. It was just not the prettiest thing out there. And for now, I'm just going to place these as well just to, again, just for blocking purposes. There we go. All right, the town is starting to take shape. And let's sculpt this terrain, especially here in the middle. To above this point. There we go. So as before, this is going to be a little bit of a, kind of connecting some of these back alleys into the parking lot of the gas station. Just trying to link them that way. All right, let's see. This is kind of a little bit of a tight corner here. So I'm wondering if we can put these together like that. Kind of just a duplex townhouses type of things. And I think, let me actually do this. Just to also give a little bit of variety on the back side of this. And these are gonna need to have a little bit of fixing here for this weird gap that I've introduced. I guess I might have gone a little too fast on some of these, but that'll be something for me to fix offline. All right, so let me just scale this up like this. So they usually kind of, from what I can tell, a lot of these townhouses, their entrances kind of mirror each other. So like that. And there's like a little bit of a step back on these because what I wanted to use there is this kind of thing that I already have. So let me try, I'll just try and position this one around here and this, and then scale this. Though I'm wondering how it's gonna look on top of that bottom door. So that bottom door is kind of throwing me off a little bit. I guess I didn't account for like all the scaling of these. So let's just use this one over here. Like that. And oh, where'd it go? And on this one back here as well, we'll try and use it. So there we go. I'm definitely not a deck builder myself, so there might be people looking at it and it's like, what is it doing over there? There we go. Okay, so that's making something out of it. All right. And the other part is going to be some fencing around this. So I'm just going to try and use, again, with the IS scatter tool, a little bit like that. instead of those, I might actually use this mesh. Though, maybe I'll leave it. I'll leave this as is for now. I'm still trying to determine whether I want to have this one be like the shorter building as well to gain a little bit more space back in the backyard. But let's separate the two, and for that, I'm just gonna use some of this fencing. It's kind of metal fencing. So yeah, I think this is gonna be a little bit better served with the shorter building. Same over here. Will give us a little bit more space for activities. So I can push this back to here, maybe even a little more. And then kind of like that. See, so we can fit another one of those row buildings back there. So for this one here, they could have like a shared backyard, I guess. um, like since this is a townhouse, they usually share backyards in some cases, I guess. But this way you can give me a little bit more space to play around with this, like the fencing. And let's just do 4 meshes here. This can go into the road and kind of come all the way to this corner. Hey, Anthony. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'm really happy you like it. That makes me really happy. Thank you. And let's close that off with some of this stuff here, and um, kind of adding some of these bushes in between to just um, you know, remove some of the repetitiveness and add a little bit of variety in there. So I'm just going to use this stuff here to close off a little bit of this area, namely like underneath the porch. And 90 degrees. degrees. So are these fenced and buildings started marketplace? Yeah, so they're marketplace assets that I bought. Some of them, like for example, these stairs is uh, I've made actually during a previous stream this set of stairs, and they're it's a mega scan texture because the posts for them it's actually just a mega scan asset. And then I decided, okay, you know what? Let's just use the texture itself with it. So yeah. But yeah, I do use a lot of assets from the marketplace because it's just so convenient and um, there's a lot of really good stuff on the marketplace. Um, of course, you have to look for it. Some of them are, you know, the marketplace is not curated. Let me put it that way. Um, but um, but yeah, there's a ton of stuff. All right, so it's starting to take shape. Um, of course, what we want to do is we want to paint a little bit of grass around here just to add some vegetation. And so let's try and get kind of like a grunge mesh for the alpha for this brush. Yeah, and that's awesome. It's a lot of fun, and I think the what makes it so nice is that you know there's like a ton of free stuff with Unreal, like the monthly the monthly assets, like um, a lot of the stuff that I use, it's you know free uh, you know, free assets. So like the monthly free assets and then, you know, like discounted stuff and uh, that's what's so cool. But yeah, I mean, if you have any questions, this is also one of the reasons I stream. I might not, I'm hoping to not lead people the wrong way because again, I'm not, I don't work in the industry. This is purely a hobby. Um, Hopefully to turn into something that is making money and paying for bills. But yeah, in the meantime, um, like I said, I love hearing from people and um, you know, with the caveat that I hope I'm not gonna steer you wrong in any way, but maybe I can at least point you in some direction. All right, so this one is um, oh, thank you. I'm really happy. Uh, and like I said, I think the video itself has a link to Discord, and outside of, you know, work hours and such, I'm pretty active on there, so if there's if people have questions, I try to answer them best I can. Hey, Adlin, welcome, welcome. There's a few tutorials of uh, things that I do that I'm using, and I mean, hopefully it would they would be helpful, hopefully. But yeah, it's there's some of them on there as well. Adlin, how you doing? Welcome, welcome. Good to have you. All right, so let's see. What do we want to do with this one? I think I might want to move it over a little bit like this. And let's put in like a little bit of a vehicle or something. And this tool here, if anybody just joined or they haven't seen me use it, it's called iScatter, and it's a very very useful thing that you can, like, for example, I use it for a ton of stuff like fencing, those little some of the bushes that I place, just placing the light poles on the roads. It's very versatile, kind of just a spline-based tool. Oh, computer can't stand the summer heat. Yeah. So today it's more just about trying to get the town finished. And earlier, I'm not sure if you were here already. I forgot to remove the label off of this. um, I was showing some of the, climbing through windows mechanic. That's a mouthful, but yeah. So that one was a little fun thing that I worked on implementing this morning, and I'm like, okay, let's show that to people, and so that was quite a bit of fun. So yeah, that's uh, this is what the plan for today is, trying to get some of this. Kind of the back of these houses done. This was like one of the last corners that I still had to work on, and yeah, getting some of that done. I'm not sure if you've seen this. This was like the area that I worked on this week as just part of trying to see how I can build the rest of the town when it comes to kind of the backsides of the buildings, because they're still going to be explorable. And yeah. So what did you do? Remove the collision on the top part of the window? Actually, so what I did is this is basically kind of the interactable section here. And when you interact with it, I disable the collisions for this piece, and then I play a montage, and then just position the player at the end of the montage. So position the player before the playing the montage, so that the montage plays as close as possible to the player placing the hand on the window and then stepping in. It's not perfect by any means, but it works pretty good. And then at the end, once the montage ends, basically moving the actor inside, so then you resume the gameplay from from your in from the place inside of the house, right? You know, past the window. Did that make sense? I was trying to explain it with my own as much as I possible you know I could. Hopefully that made some sense. Let me know. All right, so while this one doesn't really have like one of those pieces on here, I still kind of like it, the fact that it's, you know, stepped back like that. All right, I think what we should also add here is maybe a couple of trees. Let me see what would work well in here. If we want to use one of those aspen trees or that actually could work pretty well. Let's see, how would this one do? That's a little big. Hey, Adamski, welcome. I'll make it a little smaller because I kind of like the way the corona of it uh, is. How did you begin working on the game? Did you start making the game mechanics or did you go straight to landscape world? Um, well, so I actually, I was actually working on both of them at the same time. It's, you know, probably people that are in the industry are like, this guy is crazy or something. But, you know, that's how I also learned, you know, kind of, and that's, you know, I keep mentioning this, but that's what kept me not get bored, you know. Um, so I was also building the world and implementing mechanics, you know, so maybe I would take a day of, you know what, my brain is fried after work. I'm just gonna I'm just gonna use the creative side of things, you know. I'm not gonna use the logical side of I need to figure out how this structure works or, you know, how I implement this child class to do this certain thing. So yeah, I definitely uh, did it in parallel. So that might not be the best thing, but I think as a generalist, like I said, it kept me entertained, and I never really, to this day, I'm not bored with it. So Atlam, static climbing dynamic locomotion, yeah. Um, well, so there's no ladder. I mean, if you want to see it how it behaves, I can jump into game and show it to you. Just let me know. Um, it's pretty straightforward once you see it. Um, Not sure why these ones are not generating the distance field. Effect distance field, it just doesn't seem to be doing it. Which is a little odd because I really like these trees. That's weird. Okay. Um, so yeah, let me know. I can uh, I can jump into game and then show it to you. All right, let's place a little bit more of these. Oops, I didn't want to select the terrain, but a little bit more of these fencing, like around there. Hey, boom! Welcome, welcome. And Alam, I was like surprised myself that I was thinking this morning when I started, oh my God, I'm not gonna get this. Um, I'm not gonna get this done before the stream, but it wasn't that bad. I mean, it wasn't. I don't think it was very complicated to get the window functionality done. Oh, hey, Any Scout, welcome, welcome. Now I know. But so welcome to the stream. All right. Well, let's kind of close this off here a little bit. The one thing that I've noticed, and I really like this, is combining pieces of fencing. It sounds weird, but just kind of combining and not just like everywhere using the same. Like I have this wooden fence on this side, and then this metal fence here, then this slightly different type of wood here, um, and then the metal fence. I think to me, I think it helps. And then again, you're hearing like the opinion of somebody that um, is uh, just hobbyist, but again, I guess sometimes you just go with what you like looking at or seeing. But yeah, just as a kind of a small thing to bring up. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I'm not destroying anything because I'm gonna jump into game mode anyway and test it out. So once I get a few more of these placed in here, I can show you how that is. Yeah, so I think I might have like the perfect example for like something here. Um, I thought I did. Yeah, so for example, even just something like this where you have like the metal fence kind of overlapping with this one. I um I like having that. Is the foliage done by using procedural volume? Yeah, the everything in the world is. There will be like, things like this one that I just position one static item by hand. Like around areas like this. This stuff here is, and this stuff here is done through that IA scatter tool, you know. So, you know, that does this stuff. So, just painting some of these meshes around the side of the house. All right, and since we're here and we're doing this kind of entrance, um, let's sculpt the terrain um, around this. Oh, so the grass it is the grass itself is the landscape material grass. The only thing that I've run into while using this, and it's pretty odd. It happens in my test level where it sees this as static meshes. So I'm still trying to figure out why that is. It doesn't seem to make them as instance. It is kind of a weird. I'm not sure if it's probably just me, but I'm I'm monitoring it in this world partition level as well to see if that might affect it. So we'll like I said, if anything, I'll mention it in the stream if I notice it causing issues. All right, that's looking all right. See what happens at a different time of day. I'm trying to like kind of test how things look at different times of day, depending on whether I'm gonna, build a game with like a kind of a sunset setting or um, like daylight setting or night. But that looks pretty good. Yeah, I think that was a little bit of the same time of day I was using earlier in here. UDS, is that like the ultra dynamic sky something or other like that? So I've actually downloaded it the other day just to see how it feels, but it performs, for one, it performs worse than what I currently have set up. Um, Second, it's so complicated that I just don't have the time to spend on it. It's cool, I've tried some features and they're really cool, like the weather system, like the puddle. There's definitely some really nice things with it. Um, but yeah, it's pretty complicated. So I'd have to spend a little bit, maybe a little too much time on it, you know, and which sometimes is something that you don't have. Um, so that's one of the main reasons that I was you know, I'm just gonna use what I have. Oh yeah, yeah, no, I mean I totally liked it. Don't get me wrong. It's just it's just for my needs, it's a little bit too much. Um, it's yeah. So I think that was the main reason that I just decided to use what I'm, kind of currently using, which is something that originally came from another marketplace package that well, it's not that marketplace package. It's completely different now. But yeah, it gave me the idea on, the uh, what I ended up doing with it. So, all right, and this is the other part that I like doing is adding a little bit of once you add a little bit of variety, like some of this concrete along here, I think that helps quite a bit. Um, So I think I wanted to flatten it to this level. And I'm debating whether to use this or it's got a nice variety to it, so I might use it. But I know it's been around forever, and I think I've also got it as a free thing, like on a it was like a sale or something. Um, yeah. Yeah, there you go. And I think so. I actually have again f just from like the free marketplace things. I have at least three that I because I've actually tried them the other day. And to be honest, I was thinking, yeah, let's see what else is out there as far as um, like time of day type of stuff, and I I think I've tried three of them, and I think it was just like the UDS looked the best, like quality wise and kind of compared to what I have. Um, and the other two were just they just didn't like their they didn't look as good as UDS. And so I tried UDS, I played around with some of the settings, like the kind of the rainfall and that, but I just didn't end up doing anything with it just because of its one was the complexity and the other one was it actually ran a little slower. I think maybe some of the settings I didn't explore as much, so it was a little bit more beefed up than what my this guy is what I currently have. And that's what it didn't really put me off, but it was just so complex that I thought, and I'm not sure if it's going to be worth spending the time, being that it's there's quite a bit to it. It's very powerful for sure. Like I really like just trying that puddle feature, and that one had so much stuff to it, going for it. I'm like, oh man, this is actually really cool how it made puddles and it reacted with the weather. This is awesome. But but yeah, it just created a little bit too much overhead for my needs, and that's why I decided to, what, use the KISS principle, like keep it simple, stupid. And yeah, so that was the main thing, if I wanted to make a change, it was, in my system is really easy. But in something um, like UDS is, I wouldn't call it impossible, but it can get complicated really quick. Yeah, I feel the same way. Like it's just it's a very nice, very powerful system, but at the end of the day, um, is can I manage it? And that was my main concern with it. Yeah, and that's the main thing, like it's how much time do you have to learn it, because I've seen what it can do, and just from what I've tried, and kind of trying it, it's a big big word to say trying because I just played around with it for a little bit. But yeah, it can do a lot of stuff. Yeah, so I think just adding this one mesh here is uh is helping quite a lot with this back alley. Just breaking up the dirt surface. I think that's what I was trying to do here. I mean, break it up is is a big word, but you know, can I animate in UE5 like in Blender? I'm not sure what SFM is, but yeah, like I've created a bunch of animations. Again, simple stuff, but just keyframing it um, in Unreal. So for sure. How can I make this? It's so tough. Like I like to have angles, but it's so tough to, especially when it comes to meshes like this, to um, to have them work. You know. So I think I'm just gonna try and get them like a little bit flat, like so. Yeah, and I think it's a lot easier because I I I've had very I mean because I don't do it so often, but I usually have difficulties exporting from Blender to Unreal. Again, just because I don't do it that much, and I just end up with like either like a broken skeleton, or it's complaining about, hey, you know what, you want to import the skeleton, and it just sometimes it's kind of causes issues. Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean the secondary root bone, exactly. That's a great point. Um, it is. It gave me so many headaches, and that's why I was just, oh, source film. That's what it is. Okay, thank you. Um, but yeah, that second root bone is just a pain if when that happens. Oh, how can I do the about with this mesh? Because it's a really nice scan. I really wanted to, let's see, because I do have a couple of scans for kind of broken concrete, so maybe we can join them like this. this could potentially work. I say potentially pretty loosely. Um, is it possible to have multiple editors? So are you saying like multiple of these editor windows here, or multiple Unreal Engine open? Because I think I've had four at one time, which, don't try that at home, but come on, just give me a good angle here to join these guys. I see. Yeah. Um, I mean, that's what the world partition is, and like what is it? The many actors, no, external actors is for to have multiple people editing the same level at the same time. I think they were showing it at a GDC session, if I'm not mistaken. So it's called, I think it's called external actors, and so basically you guys can work off of the same repository at the same time. And maybe somebody else that also had exposure to this, maybe that you can correct me if what I'm saying is off. But that was my understanding of it, that you can there could be multiple people working on the same level at the same time. I think you can't work on the same asset, but for example, you would tell your friend, hey, you're gonna work on the town level, town area, and I'm gonna work on the, I don't know, the village area, something like that. But at least that was my understanding. Like I said, if anybody can correct me on that, I hope I am thinking of it the right way. Oh yeah, yeah, that should be possible. That's my understanding at least. Like you would um, you can work off of the same repository and have as long as you work on different files, then yeah, my understanding is that you can do it. Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Alan. That was my understanding as well, but I just wanted somebody to confirm that. So thank you so much. Yeah, I am not sure about this area here, what I'm doing, but um, I need to find a way to like bring these together. besides like going into Blender and like pulling down the edges, which that's probably going to be my next go-to move here. But for now, this should be fine. I'll try and see if I can find. I'm not sure if there's anything in Megascans for this. I'll try and find something because as you can see, there's like the edges are flat and that doesn't really help when you try to bring these pieces together. I mean, it looks fine if it's just one piece, but then if you have multiple or more than one, and you can fake it with some of these other meshes like I have here, but I also don't want to, overdo it. That's kind of the other thing here, like this could work, for example, in that corner, but it's kind of, I mean, if you're paying attention, you might be able to see like, oh, hey, there's that rock there, there's that one over there. Um, Maybe I'm just overthinking it, but I know that I noticed this in video games, so okay, that can look like a back alley. Let's paint a little bit of grass. Nope, actually I wanted to just paint the terrain with some grass. So like around the house here, you know, around this edge, maybe kind of in the middle of this pothole. Like, right here. It's a small spot, but there's flowers. All right. Just along the fence as well. And the size of the brush is so small that it can't paint a whole lot. So there we go. And let's try and just add another one of these trees, like out here. There's like, I know I have a couple of these that I'm using in the world, so I could potentially use something a little bit different. So then just a little bit of mulch. This has some different materials on top of it, like, fern, but I think I might just keep it with the grass. Okay, yeah, so see, this is what bothers me, like straight lines. For whatever reason, whenever it comes to natural stuff, straight lines just uh, bug me. So I'm just gonna keep on using this one mesh a little bit too much, but was kind of thinking, like you can also help with some of the decals to remove some of that, um, but so I'm just gonna add one of these like kind of tire marks Let me make this a little bit more visible. That might be a little bit too visible. So yeah, this is what I didn't really like, kind of the repetitiveness of the same mesh here. So I'm gonna probably later on tonight, I'm gonna try and see if I can find a bit of a different way to do that, if possible. All right, some of the tracks kind of going under that SUV there. And so that's good. Smoothing that out a little bit. And let's just paint a little bit more grass here around the house. Okay, I mean um I'm actually happy that you know, with our usual 2 hour stream, we got this area done, or at least in a good spot. So so yeah, Alum, I'll jump into game mode and show you what I meant with that. So let me see how this work looks at some other times of day. Uh, During nighttime. Okay, actually surprisingly well. I was thinking it wasn't gonna look so good during the nighttime. I've been tweaking the night setting for a while now, and that's what I was like, "Oh, okay, how is this gonna turn out?" But I wanted to try and put in like because I've been using this as well, just to add a little bit more to the world, some of this electrical poles. And I need to, let's just add this in here, and we'll link them into like the main road and into the houses, you know. So I've created this one blueprint, you know, for like this. And this is actually a tutorial that some people seem to have liked it on my channel, for like creating this kind of like the electrical pole, and you know, how to link into different ones. So basically with this one, I have it, let me see, I'm gonna try and at least rotate it so that that nozzle faces outside the house. Let's do a negative 180. There we go. So this one is here on the house. So I'm just gonna let's turn the light on. So I'm just gonna link this one into this one here, and this one, just gonna place one on the main road here so I can link it into it. Just like that. And the other thing that I'm missing, I forgot to copy it as well, is having this little transformer on it. This is not really perfectly positioned because of the scale. It was actually for a different um, pole, so it's not quite perfect, but it fits. Okay, let's try and add a light to this thing and turn the lights off outside. And so this one, see, so there's the radius, intensity. And if I was to place some like lights on this balcony here, that should add a little bit more to it as well, to this kind of scene if it was to be at night. And where was the radius? And now I'm just kind of playing a little bit with this thing. It's just not, oh yeah, and there's that lip that I was telling you about. I'm gonna try and see if I can do something with this particular mesh, or if I just need to find something else. But yeah, so a little bit of the lighting here at night, just trying to see how this would work. All right, but just to kind of end today, Adam, here is the way this the window works. And then we'll look at hopefully some of the plans for tomorrow. I'll um, I'll try and work a little bit more on see if I can get the will to work on some mechanics tonight, and maybe just some small fixes, like those little gaps and that that concrete mesh, to see if I either go with that or if I'm able to find something a little bit better on the on Megascans. All right, so let me close, minimize some of these windows. Hopefully it might work a little bit better on performance here. All right, so yeah, this is in order for me to get there, right? um, let's just climb up a little bit here. And whenever it climbs, that's just the montage. I'm not controlling it with the mouse in any way. So that kind of works the same thing when you climb through the window. So right now I'm moving the mouse, but it doesn't really do anything. So this is how it steps into through the window. And of course you can't unless you interact with it. And the window's closed, it should be breaking, but no, it's it's just something that I might need to add as far as the um, the interactivity, like, open the window, then play the montage, move the character, and then end the montage and end the transition basically. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Adlim, hopefully that gave you a little bit of an idea of what that is like. So let's also walk over to the new section of town and see how things look. Um, all right, so that guy over there doesn't have the machine gun on it, so I should be fine. Um, and then over here, interesting. This asset did not load. Okay, the other ones did. Like what I'm looking at is these kind of meshes that are spawned in with this tool. All right, so flashlight looks okay. It's kind of stuttering a little bit around here, so I need to look and see why that is. Yeah. Okay. I think the one thing that we forgot to add and that I wanted to, yeah, so this one is also didn't load, so I need to look into that. But adding a couple of these sheds, just in one corner or the other, so that let's see. So one last thing before we end, guys. Mainly before I forget. It's uh, let me see where we have. I need to add something a little smaller, like something like this. Just to add that over there. Um, yeah, I think that that should help. I don't think I have room to add any other one. These other ones are kind of big, but what I do have room for, let's actually test it. Yeah, that's a little too big. Um, but what I do have room for, and like I was mentioning, like a canopy, and for that, if anybody's interested, these are assets from Decagon, and their stuff is always amazing, and they have sales quite often, and I do look them for them, for the sales, and a lot of the stuff are really nice. Like one thing that I forgot to add is going to be like some of these air conditioning units to like fill in some of those windows. So, but I was talking about maybe adding like an awning or a carport. Like for example, this one here would work pretty well uh, to add it here. This is just like an example. So just adding a little bit of variety, kind of removing some of the repetitiveness. For example, like this house, it could be um, changed um, to have some different like a different color siding. Oh, thank you, Anthony. So if you happen to figure out where the residential metal, so if you're referring to this one here, so this actually comes from it is called the Fence Chain Link Pack, and it has some stuff with like little chain link and like barbed wire on top of it as well. Um, so Atlam, this is part of the level streaming, right? So like all these are individual level instances, and what I plan to turn them on is like pack level actors, because at the moment I'm not sure if so this one doesn't work the same way. This being just a level, it doesn't instance all the repetitive meshes. So basically, this is one draw call, another one, another one, another one. So if I turn this whole thing into like a pack level actor, all these are just going to be like a single instance. And so yeah, hopefully that answers a little bit like one of your questions. All right, and I think I wanted to add something to like a canopy over here. That. Okay. So that added a little bit of variety in there, like just this with this little overhang here, um, this canopy, then there's this shed. All right. And I was actually, might be too much, but I want to try something. Not sure how it's going to look. It might look really bad. It just might not make any sense. Uh, so, yeah, it doesn't really make too much sense to put it in here. Okay, so I think this is going to be it like this, at least for now, until I come up with with additional thoughts. But I will definitely try and see if I can find something a little bit more not so repetitive, because like this one, it just looks really odd. I mean, it's not that it's bad, it's just like you can see the repetitiveness between like these pieces here and then this one here. So I'll try and see if I can find something that might do it a little bit better. All right, yeah. So play around with this lighting here a little bit. See might if there's any other angles that might make it look pretty. This one looks kind of interesting as well. Um, Kind of cool. See if it's coming from the other side. It probably doesn't go through the building, so yeah. Anyways, just a couple of time of day settings. So that's going to be it for me, guys. Thank you everybody so much for stopping by. And same thing, same time tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern. Hopefully it works for as many folks as possible. And I'll post it in Discord and on Twitter. Not sure. Hopefully, how folks have found me, through YouTube. I know that some folks through YouTube recommendations somehow the algorithm sometimes works, sometimes not so much. But yeah, hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. And until then, enjoy your Saturday. Alanika, thank you so much. You do the same. Um, yeah, and so all the houses will load the same one if using two houses. Um, that's the one part that I don't know. I would have to test it out, but it seems to be to load them at the same time. So I'm thinking yes, but yeah, don't quote me on it. But like I said, like all this entire area is just going to be one pack level actor. So that's what I'm planning on doing. And but that's still to be seen. The one thing, Atlam, that was an issue was these actors, and it only happened for these fences. They didn't load, and I'm not entirely sure why that is. So I need to look into that. But other than that, everything loaded before the player loaded into the world. So that's how I have it set up. So yeah, I mean, so far I haven't had any of these levels that are not loaded when the player is in. And they at the same time they're all on a specific grid. So for example, these are going to be on a runtime grid of large assets. Interiors are on a runtime grid of small assets. So that way they only get loaded once you're up close or rendered. Um, so that's how I plan on doing it. Yeah. Hopefully that at least that's my take on it. So yeah. All right, guys. Take care. Have a great rest of your Saturday, Sunday morning, Saturday morning, wherever you might be. And I'll see you tomorrow. All right. Take care, everybody. Thanks again for stopping by.